you have a threat that you may be benefiting in the short term with those games coming to a PlayStation and a less of an existential threat on a hardware basis, but on a software side, you're still bleeding because you still have competition. You're feeding the beast. The first time, because of Xbox kind of waving the white flag in the console competition space, but also growing. Everyone's like, oh, Xbox is Sega, but Xbox is not Sega.
And I was in the business when Sega brought their Dreamcast titles to PlayStation 2. So it does have historical precedence.
Sega! All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault Gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over the next dose of the Salty Batch files. Yes, we got more delusion, more different narratives, goalposts moving, pretty much the similar type of stuff, but they just don't stop. They don't stop, so neither will we. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to it here. Let's use the first one here, Boomstick, which is crazy here because he's also obviously super delusional. And in this instance, he's also using some of Snap Blast Play's information here, which kind of speaks volumes on its own inconsistencies and delusion on its own. But as you can see here, right? Boom, stating this is the future of PlayStation and a major talking point on today's new episode of Xvlog, blah, 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 with myself, C Money, and on, right? Shows the link, and he's referencing Snap Blast. Xbox continues to dominate the PlayStation storefront as 50% of top 10 games from Xbox. Okay, how do we break this down? The simplest way possible, so we're not spending an hour and a half just on this example alone. Look at the narrative like I was speaking at in the beginning. Look at the narrative that they're utilizing right now. We can break this down in a bunch of different ways, right? Microsoft bought these game companies and devs and IPs. Well, most of them after they were already established in blockbusters. As you can see here, Minecraft and COD being the first two. Indiana Jones has yet to be proven to be a blockbuster IP, and who knows if there's going to be sequels or whatever's going on with machine games, right? So the fact that 50% is in at that time, right? The PlayStation Store, top 10, whatever, half of those being Xbox games that, again, they acquired while already being famous and popular IPs, right? That's the biggest takeaway. This, just newsflash for Boom and all the others there, Snap Blast and all of them, newsflash, this is what third party is. Congratulations for having super popular IPs that are available on multiple platforms. You're going to see an uptick on each ecosystem continuously. That's not news. This is not a W for the hardware side of Xbox, right? This is not anything to comprehend in regards to that. This just means they're doing a good job being a third-party publisher, a third-party offering to all platforms and ecosystems. Congratulations. I mean, if you consider that a win, congratulations. Again, we're talking about corporate bootlicking at this point. When you're a third-party publisher, are you cheering on EA? Are you cheering on Ubisoft? Are you cheering on Square Enix as the best publisher ever? Is that the W you're going for here? Because again, at the end of the day, you guys still want your exclusives. At the end of the day, you still want your dedicated console hardware, not even hybrid stuff. You truly want a console experience for your home. If you didn't care about that, you would already be in the PC ecosystem as your preferred platform and ecosystem of choice. But again, we're going to stick to this delusion right here. But let's move on. Let's move on before I get on a major soapbox here with these idiots. We already know how they are. Let's go over to the next delusional catfish, aka Joseph Cruz, aka Andrea Piccinini, aka now rebranded Extension. Here we have just a simple statement: Forza Horizon 5 on Xbox Series X. Heart emoji, heart eye emoji. The best version of consoles with the cool sunglass emoji. This was proven to be false. It's actually playing best and going to be best on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So this is also incorrect information. You can be as delusional as you want. The one thing I'll give them is the fact that they are. The only main game that they play is Forza. So you know this stings deep down. You know they're just telling themselves in the mirror. Like I said, we got that mirror experience. They're talking to themselves in there and they're like, look, catfish, person that needs that validity, person that needs that content, people that feed me that attention. I need that. And this also stings that the fact that Forza is now, my favorite IP, Forza, is now on competing platforms like PlayStation. How do I convince myself? That's right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's actually better on the PlayStation 5 Pro, the best on PlayStation 5 Pro, minus some beast rigs on PC, right? Console experience, the console. What are they talking themselves at here? This is pure delusion at its finest. And again, they have a ton of followers. So again, if they have any casual followers, they don't know they're a catfish, they don't know their past, they don't know a lot of stuff, and then they maybe believe crap like this. And again, teach their own. We can't fix everything. We can't be there for everybody. But at least I try to help. At least I try to spread that word. It's the best we can do. Maybe that helps a little bit. I don't know. But again, delusion at its finest. What do you guys think about this bull crap? We'll move on though. This one's great here. You know how I'm talking about documentaries and Gaz and all that stuff here? He likes to make these little mini documentaries and all this stuff. The guy, he's not too bright. He spins it like he is. But here, let's pull up the example here. PlayStation fanboys are celebrating finally getting good games thanks to Xbox and Nintendo fanboys break their backs to defend getting shafted. Watch this hard-hitting documentary covering the madness. No, I did not watch it. I don't care about your documentaries. A lot of people probably don't. Those that do, again, following probably the misinformation. Is there defenders on all platforms and ecosystems? Yes, but again, you leave out the Xbox side of things because you got to shill and grift. You got to continue there. But we'll only mention PlayStation and Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo fanboys are out there defending the prices, defending the minuscule remasters and upgrades, pass, and hardware accessories, and whatever the case is, right? For a past generation hardware powerhouse kind of response, right? And then we're talking about how now you're probably leaning towards PlayStation gamers upping up the, Xbox first-party games and being all hyped up for them on the PlayStation ecosystem. Again, if any PlayStation gamer, most PlayStation gamers, if they truly wanted those games, they would have played them on PC, they would have played it on Xbox, they would have bought an Xbox console. That was not the case. That's a problem. It's having your cake and eating it too on a PlayStation right now, right? You're sitting here and you encompass what's happening in that ecosystem. What's happening? You are getting Xbox first-party games on there. Of course, it's that forbidden fruit, like I've mentioned in past videos. It's that forbidden fruit you get to try out. Again, I kind of had some bitter taste in my mouth in regards to Grounded when I jumped on that. Not a big fan. Bitter taste in my mouth with Sea of Thieves. Lesson learned there. Some people warned me, it's all right if you got friends to play with, which I did, had a group, played with it, but it just got so boring, just wasn't for me. For those that enjoy it, fantastic. To taste the bitterness in my mouth, I have not went out and bought Indiana Jones at this time, even though I heard good things about it. I still haven't bought in Hi-Fi Rush. If Gears or Halo come over, we'll see what happens, but I'm not even pre-ordering or buying Forza 5 at this time because I just don't care. If I get to it, I get to it. My backlog's huge. And this, I think, goes for a lot of PlayStation fans and gamers, is like, hey, there's forbidden fruit. I might test the waters, check it out. That's great. Again, cake and eat it too. But again, it's nobody like overhyping. If anything, it's trolling. It's poking fun because Xbox did the wrong thing. You guys didn't listen. We have plenty of receipts from Gaz and others that sit there and say, oh, well, this wasn't going to happen. It ain't ever going to happen. The egg on the face, and then to turn around and act like you know what's going on, that is not the case in the slightest, and it's hilarious, quite frankly. But again, that's what shills and grifters do. I get comments in my section a lot of the time. Do you even know what a grifter is and a shill is? Yes, we just explained that. Somebody that's pandering to a certain audience to increase audience engagement, that's sitting there increasing the subs to pander to a certain audience, regardless of the information, whether it be true or not. We know what this is. This is stupid and a redundant question. Oh, Alex, you didn't know. He's not a grifter. He is. Gaz is. Colt is. All these guys are grifters and shills. We know it. We all know it. If you want to pretend they're not, good on you. Live in that delusional bubble, because I'm not buying the bullshit. But let's keep going here. Speaking of Alex here, guys, one of the most innate and stupid comments he's made, and he's made a ton as of late, but here we are. Imagine showing off to everyone that you're terrible with money, in reference to showing something from Jay here. I just bought these 2 games to own them and support the developers. Buy your games, no renting. Again, I stand behind that kind of a statement personally, because I believe in owning your games. We've been over this, why exclusives matter, why buying is better than renting, and what the long-term effects of that is. Now, if you don't agree with that, and your, cup of tea is renting for whatever reason, that's fine. Just understand there's caveats to that. But the fact of the matter is, you get more in the long run from owning your games. Trust me. We've been over this stuff before. However, again, reiterating what Alex is saying here, imagine showing off to everyone that you're terrible with money. So you're terrible with money for spending money on a hobby that you enjoy. So again, this is true. And I don't think this is too much trolling. Is there a little bit of trolling or tongue-in-cheek with Jay here in regards to the emoji afterwards, supporting the developers, all that stuff? It's true, though, that you support the developers. If you buy a game, yes, does it support the corporation to a point as well? Absolutely. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. If you're buying gas for your car, you're buying parts for your car. Again, we're talking about any hobby out there, fishing, whatever, any accessories, you're supporting a corporation as well as the makers of it, or whatever the case is. This goes without saying. This is not some sort of hyperbole or anything like that here. So, again, how stupid do you have to be to make fun of somebody for spending money on their hobby, pocket watching what somebody does? Somebody that probably does, because I do. I enjoy this hobby so much that I've been playing since the age of 2 or 3. And yes, I can say 2 because I had little handheld Pac-Man, little mini arcade machines that I was messing around with back then. So I was gaming back then. I love gaming from the beginning to now, till as long as I can foresee. I do enjoy it a lot. So to sit there and make fun of somebody supporting a hobby and industry is really stupid. Tone deaf, all that stuff. So why is he upset and making fun of this? Because the guy's buying stuff and on PlayStation, so it doesn't work for him. Again, the shills, the grifting. This is another prime example of what a shill and grifter is, because he's not pointing out the fact that, like, hey, he could make a statement stating, it's okay to rent them as well, or whatever you want to come out with that angle, right? But to sit there and just straight up from end to beginning, and sit there and say, imagine just showing off to everyone that you're terrible with money by buying stuff with your hobby. It's different if you're not. There's so many scenarios here. But what I'm trying to say here ultimately is, how stupid do you have to be to not understand somebody is grifting and shilling and pandering to their audience? None other than this. All because it's not for Xbox or on PC or utilizing GamePass or anything in the case. This really triggered him, and he's like, this is a great case that I can spin to my audience. This is what I can do for my followers. They're going to jump on board with this, all this, that, and the other. But this is the most tone-deaf, stupid tweet I've seen in quite some time. And of course, it's coming from none other than, oh no, it's Alex, and he's not a grifter or shill or panders. You even know what that is? We do. Again, another example. If you don't see that, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. But let's continue on from that nonsense here. Now we have we have an issue here. So this guy got brought up to me from Hypnotic Live here. As you can see the thumbnail and from the video, Ghosts of Yote new trailer sparks massive backlash as gamers melt down over female protagonist, right? What's interesting is that the timing of this video as well, guys. We knew who the main protagonist was quite some time ago. This isn't a revelation of who the main protagonist is in Ghosts of Yote. All right? So the fact that they're breeding this up, they're bringing this up, right? What are we doing here? Again, grifting, shilling, pandering, capitalizing on the anti-woke stuff, capitalizing on the drama, because the drama sells. We all know this. And it's just really pathetic at this point in time that somebody like this is bringing it up. And of course, the cringy thumbnail at this point, like, oh my gosh. It's just so bad. It's so bad. It's so obvious. So if you give these guys attention like that, as far as views, likes, stuff like that, you're only helping increase that algorithm and all that sort of stuff. And again, that drama sells. But again, point blank, grifting, shilling, pandering. I just wanted to take a few examples to show folks that yes, we all understand what that means. And these are 3 prime examples, from Gaz to Alex to this idiot right here. These are all prime examples of pandering, shilling, and grifting. Do we not see how this works at this point in time? If you don't, pull off those blinders, pull them up, peek through them, whatever you want to do, and understand what you're seeing here. It's as plain as day. How you don't understand this is beyond me. But let's go on to the next delusional take here. This being from Nico. And wow, this guy has some awful takes as of late, as of always. But again, he states, as you can see here, I would never tried Expedition 33 if it wasn't for Game Pass, smiling emoji. Game Pass makes me discover beautiful gems. Yeah, I don't think so. I believe in the fact that most Xbox gamers, I'm sorry, because they're so adhered to Game Pass, that they probably wouldn't try or buy stuff. So that part maybe has some truth to it, but we all know that already. But for him to sit there, for him in particular that games so much and knows everything for all these new and upcoming games that are supposed to be on a radar, Expedition 33 was covered extensively. Once we had an official release date as well, this game was covered extensively. The voice actors and actresses, the plot points of it, the type of gameplay it is, the trailers, you name it. This game was on everybody's radar. Like, hey, this game could be really, really good. This has absolutely nothing to do with Game Pass. I know it. He knows it. We all know it. But this is the new narrative as well, guys, that they're utilizing for, well, we don't have really a basis for hardware right now to talk about. They're not selling well. Xbox is not selling well. They're not doing anything in particular. What do we do? What's the narrative shifting? Game Pass is great, and look what it's doing. It's helping sell games. It's helping put these games in other people's, viewpoints, stuff like that. No, this game is sold very well on PC and PlayStation at the point of this recording. At the time of this recording, it's doing exceptionally well. The Metacritic is super high. The user scores are very high and consistent. This has zero to do, or almost zero. I'll give it some credit, right? Because advertising is advertising, of course. But it's not the end-all be-all, and this isn't why somebody is discovering Expedition 33. I promise you that much. The word of mouth would have still done the telephone thing with or without Game Pass, and still would have been successful with or without Game Pass. Now, the devs don't know that before their games are released. You never know. It's always a gamble. I get why they put it on Game Pass, and I always stated multiple times that indie games, indie devs, indie companies, they have more of a reason to put them on a subscription service and get that bag just in case it doesn't pander out. You got a new IP, you don't know how that's going to translate. Whether your game's amazing or not, it doesn't always translate to success, right? So I get that, but however, nailing down the point here, Game Pass is not why this game is successful. End of story. Let's move on. So let's finish it up with one more here. I think this is great. Hideo Kojima is just posting out checking the controller here, and you can see he's doing different things here. Odds are he's playing something that's not Death Stranding, the way he's, kind of emoting in a way, right? But Forza Horizon official account here, do you think he's playing Forza Horizon 5 out now in early access on PlayStation 5? I think that's great. What a time. What a time to be alive, to sit there and the I told you so's, right? I know we've been over this. This isn't news now at this point in time that first-party Xbox games are now on PlayStation at this point in time and will end up being on the Switch too, more than likely. But what a time, right? To see tweets like this, something you could only think about or fathom of like, well, if they're still on this path, like we've been saying for quite some time, this is going to happen. But what a great tongue-in-cheek thing here in a way. Like, this pisses off a lot of those fanboys and shills and grifters and all that, especially the Colt Eastwoods and everybody else in between. But yeah, it does look like Hideo's probably playing a racing game to me, whether it's Forza or Gran Turismo or whatever. The Crew Motorfest, right? Who knows? Maybe he's playing the latest Sonic All-Stars racing game. I don't know, but odds are he's probably playing Forza Horizon for sure, But pretty cool, pretty funny. Just wanted to end on a laugh there because I think it's just really one of those posts out there, you know, is triggering a lot of those fanboys that just, especially those hardcore, the Andrea Piccinini's out there, the Joseph Cruz, right? Out there, his favorite IPs out there, and here's Forza putting it out there, reminding everybody that it is available on PlayStation 5 now. So really one of the holy trinity, just waiting for the Gears and Halo to happen. And boy, the salt mounds and from the salt mines, those are going to be glorious when that does happen, and we're going to have some fun with that as well. So that being said, we'll wrap up the video here, folks. I really appreciate your time and support as always. If you haven't, definitely leave a like and a comment down below. Would love to hear from you. Both those things do help out the algorithm. In addition to that, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. Trying to move to that 3,500 sub goal. So if you like the truth, you like what we do, you like us exposing all these fraud shills, grifters, and fanboys, that's what we're here for, because why not? It's fun, and let's hold some people accountable. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and just remember, don't be a salty batch, and we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video, and until then, take care.